If you're working to improve your in-game sport performance, then you need to understand the process of creating coachable players. As athletes, parents, and coaches, understanding how to create a coachable player can guide you through the process of reaching your potential in sport. A few weeks back, we were working with a group of elite winter athletes. It was a real cool scene. We were doing full testing with force plate, motion capture, musculoskeletal analysis, and their coach came out to see what it was all about. I love it when coaches come to hang out and talk shop. I was explaining what we were doing and how it all fits into the process of athlete and player development. I said, listen, we work in the background creating more coachable players for you to coach. And the coach froze. He grabbed my arm and said, Crush, what did you just say? I said, we work behind the scenes to create an athlete who you can actually coach to the next level. He thought about it for a second and said, I love that. And away we went. You see, coaches are often limited in how much they can help their players because the players simply can't do what needs to be done to move forward in their sport, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotionally. It's about connecting the dots between that athlete, the player, and the sport demands. And this is why I love talking to the coaches, the agents, GMs, and scouts so much. We go to great lengths to get a very clear understanding of the athlete. But we also like to get a really good perspective of the player. And no better way than direct feedback from the people that see them perform on a regular basis. The scouts, coaches, and GMs, listen, these people are the gatekeepers of sport, and how they perceive a player is very important. Right or wrong, how they perceive a player often determines whether they make a team or not, or if they get a contract or not, or even if they are drafted or not. So being aware of how that coach, GM, or scout perceives a player is actually very important in the process of athlete development. And it's something we consider heavily when we program for athletes who are in the high performance pathway. For our younger developing athletes, we focus more on the fundamentals of development. But even here, getting feedback from the coaches or parents can be very helpful in building the right program. And make no mistake, from the grassroots right up to our pros, you have to continually address the athlete. You can play, compete, and practice until the cows come home, but there'll come a point where you hit that ceiling. If an athlete can't execute physically, mentally, or emotionally, all the coaching in the world just won't help. It can't. We have to build the attributes that make the athlete coachable as a player, whether it's strength, speed, and agility, or focus, concentration, decision-making. It might be breathing or mindset or the approach that athlete and player has. There's not a lot we can't train. The trick is to understand what to train and when to train it. It's a process and it never stops. We continually build throughout an athlete's career. And while we're always looking to improve playing performance, we're also hyper-focused on injury prevention. Always. The athlete before the player. It just makes so much sense. Unfortunately, we just don't see it that often in sport today. We're so focused on competition and playing games, we're missing out on so much real development. This is why most athletes never approach their true talent ceiling. And I also believe it's one of the main reasons for the historically high injury rates we're seeing at all levels of sport. The crazy thing is, it's just not that complicated. As a coach, parent, or athlete, you can make it happen. You can create coachable players if you know what to do. Things like proper warm-up or sleep strategies, talking nutrition and hydration, proper strength training, speed and power work, mindset, vision. Listen, the list goes on and on and on. And if it's all connected to the sport demands, well, now you get a player who can be coached to the next level. Do we know how good an athlete can be? No, we don't. But you can find out if you go through the process, a process I call creating coachable players. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and go to jeffcrochelle.com and sign up for our weekly Crush Report. It's all we talk about, the ebb and flow of creating coachable players. See you there.